too close to it, huh? Oh, cool. Let's go.
When you're out in the wild, you expect to see animals, maybe even something dangerous, but nothing can prepare you for the tall, shadowy figure that watches you from the trees. These are 10 of the scariest Bigfoot encounters ever caught on camera, and some of them too close for comfort. On January 29th, 2015, at Lettuce Lake Park in Florida, he filmed something that still haunts him. A large dark figure was seen between the trees. It had long arms and looked like it was grabbing something from the ground. It was not hiding. It was obvious. This was a Bigfoot, clearly showing itself during broad daylight. It stood up and walked away. The size, shape, and way it moved matched what people say about Bigfoot. It was not a man in a suit. The arms were too long. The body was too heavy. Yet, no one could explain it. And after seeing it so close, he never looked at the woods the same again. With that being said, let's move on to our second footage for this video. On October 31st, 2012, he went camping near Squaw Peak in Provo Canyon, Utah. It was a cold, quiet day. He and a friend were hiking uphill after spotting some deer in the distance. They wanted a closer look, but they were soon going to regret it.
It's too close to it, huh? Oh, cool. Let's go. It's too close to it, huh?
They noticed something behind the trees. At first, it looked like a bear, crouched low to the ground, but something felt off. The creature stood up.
Cool.
Not like a bear, not like anything normal. It stood tall, far too tall, and turned to look directly at them. It had a massive body, huge arms, and a distinctly non-human shape. It made no sound. It just moved, making its presence known. It was definitely a Bigfoot. That's when he ran. They both ran fast, left their tent, their bags, everything. They didn't go back to get their gear, because once you see something like that, you don't take any chances. Let's move on to our third scary Bigfoot encounter. On July 24th, 2013, he and his partner were hiking a logging road high above a quiet lake in Mission, British Columbia. It was peaceful. The air was still. They stopped to take photos of the trees and hills in the distance. Then, something moved. Far away, near the tree line, he saw something standing upright. It wasn't walking like a bear. It wasn't shaped like a man either. It just stood there. It was tall and looking right in their direction. He zoomed in as much as he could. What he saw was big, too big for a person. It had wide shoulders, a dark shape, and legs that didn't match anything human. The way it stood, motionless, almost waiting, made his chest feel tight. It didn't run. It didn't hide. They didn't finish the hike. They turned around and walked back fast, not saying a word. Even now, he says it clearly wasn't a bear, and it wasn't a man either. Moving on to our next Bigfoot encounter. On October 31st, 2015, in a quiet part of Florida, he was walking through the woods with his camera. The trees were thick. The forest felt empty. Something moved between the trees. It was large and dark. Too big to be a person, too fast to be a bear. He zoomed in. A tall figure stood in the shadows. It had long arms, broad shoulders, and thick, dark hair. It stood on two legs like a man, but the shape was not human. It shifted slightly. It wasn't running. It wasn't hiding. It just stood there, heavy and still. He knew he had seen something real, something wild. Many believe it was the skunk ape, the creature said to live in Florida's swamps and forests. He left the woods that day and never went back. And the footage remains, showing something that shouldn't exist, but still does. Let's move on to our fifth most disturbing Bigfoot footage. On May 4th, 2013, deep inside Wayne National Forest in Ohio, he stood under a waterfall. Water fell nearly 90 feet from the rocks above. He was filming the fall, enjoying the sound and the quiet. Later that night, back at home, he watched the video again. That's when he saw it. Something large moved on the ridge across from the waterfall. It walked upright, slow, strong, and massive. The figure became clearer. It had long arms and a wide back, covered in dark hair. It didn't run. It was just casually walking. He hadn't seen it with his own eyes at the time, but it had been there, watching him the whole time from the ridge above. Some say it was just a shadow, but what shadow walks like that? Moving on to our next case. On December 17th, 2014, a man was driving through Algonquin Provincial Park in Ontario, Canada. It was cold. The road was empty. He had a GoPro camera mounted on the bumper of his truck, recording the long ride. He didn't see anything strange that day, but the camera did.
Not the blog story. This is the footage. I've cut it down a little bit. The story behind it is the guy has a GoPro mounted to the front of his truck, and he does a lot of driving around in the back roads up in Canada. And this terrain is almost exactly the type of terrain that I spent a lot of time in. Now, there's a couple possibilities here. Maybe this is a guy in a ghillie suit or a bear. It doesn't look like a bear. I don't think this is a bear. So it's either a guy in a ghillie suit or somebody intentionally trying to pretend to be Bigfoot, or it's a Sasquatch. Now, here's the thing. Up in this neck of the woods, you go running around with a monkey suit, you risk getting your ass shot because everybody up there is armed to the teeth. And if you're faking this, think what you would have to go through. You'd have to get a guy in a suit. You'd have to hide him down here in the shadows, just like an animal would.
The video was later shared by Ontario Wildlife Field Research. The original was over an hour long, but it was cut and slowed down to show what he missed. Something was standing on the side of the road. It wasn't moving much, just standing.
And then you'd have to probably make multiple passes, meanwhile risking some hunters coming by shooting your buddy that's sitting down there in a monkey suit. Or you risk a game warden or a logger or somebody coming along and seeing what the hell you're doing. All right, I've compared this to a gorilla and a guy in a ghillie suit. The guy in a ghillie suit could have been a little bigger, I suppose. Here's the thing. This doesn't behave like a person. This doesn't have anything in its hands. Doesn't seem to have a backpack. It's not carrying a gun. Doesn't have binoculars. Doesn't have a camera. Doesn't have traps. Doesn't even have a walking stick. If this is a person, wouldn't they wave to the truck? Like right there, there's no waving. Wouldn't they acknowledge the truck? And, you know, maybe I've been looking at these things too long, but this thing looks like it's got the face of a gorilla. It's thick and wide through and very muscled up looking, and it just stands there. Not like a person. It's just standing there frozen still, hoping that truck will go by and not see it. This could be a Bigfoot.
The shape became clearer. It was tall, covered in thick hair. Its arms were too long, its head too large for a person. But it didn't run. It didn't even flinch when the truck passed by. The biologist who watched the footage said this wasn't a hunter or trapper. It moved like a wild animal, quiet, still, watching. No one knows how long it had been there.
Ontario are doing incredible work. They're also looking for cougars. But what do you guys think? Do you think I'm seeing things here? Is this a guy in a ghillie suit just, you know, duck hunting? Why is he not waving to the camera? And if it's a guy in a gorilla suit, wow, man, my hat's off to you. Fantastic job. Or this is a diamond in the rough. This could be a legitimate Bigfoot. The backstory matches. It's in the right location. The behavior of the animal is consistent. It's hiding in the shadows. It's freezing. It's just holding still while the car goes by. Wow. This one gives me the chills, guys.
But one thing is clear. It was watching him pass from just a few feet away. Moving on to our 7th scariest Bigfoot encounter. On November 8th, 2008, in the woods of East Texas, a man visited the land of a woman who had seen something strange near her home. She said it kept coming back. Some called the place a habituation site, a spot where Sasquatch visit again and again.
More than a year and a half ago, I shot footage of what I take to be the left forearm of a Sasquatch, here at the property of a woman who has had daylight sightings on several occasions. But it wasn't until just last week that a fellow researcher pointed out to me that there is a great deal more in this footage than I have ever been aware of.
That night, the man, the woman, and 2 other people built a large fire. The flames were bright. He stepped away from the fire from time to time, using a thermal camera to scan the dark tree line. Later, while watching the footage, he saw something.
On the night in question, she and I and 2 young women had built a dramatic bonfire. Every now and then I would step away and scan the tree line with my thermal camera. Later, reviewing the footage, I noticed the arm, and have long regretted that this is all there is to see. My friend, however, has now adjusted the contrast to bring out clear new information. Yes, the Sasquatch is observing us and our fire, and the heat given off by the creature's eyes shines out. We can even see the comparatively cooler top of the head, and the right hand, fingers splayed. Keeping these new image settings allows us to view the peeking Sasquatch in motion.
There was a shape, a thick left forearm, large and still, hiding behind the woodpile. He had missed it before. Then came something worse. You can see 2 glowing eyes. The heat from them stood out in the thermal view, and then the cold shape of a massive head could be seen. Something was watching them, watching the fire.
From a slightly different angle, we can see the left arm again, this time making a fist. And for just an instant, we can find the head again, too. And notice that the left arm is extended farther, and that the board it appears to be resting on is extended as well. Compare its length here to the earlier shot. It seems the Sasquatch has actually adjusted this board, perhaps to achieve a better view. Luckily, the habituator took a daylight shot soon after our close encounter, so that we can see just how close the woodpile is from the ashes of the bonfire, probably about 30 feet. Also, we can now tell how very low to the ground our visitor kept.
The left arm moved. It made a fist, and then it leaned forward, as if resting on a board. But the board itself seemed to move too, like it had been pulled closer for a better view. They realized how close it had been, just 30 feet from the fire. It had stayed low, crouched in the dirt, hiding behind a pile of wood. It had been right there the whole time.
In order to avoid detection and to spy on us through this opening here. But now what about this tree? If we could measure its width, this would provide revealing scale. The other day, the habituator did just that. It seems the tree is close to 7 inches thick. But just to err on the conservative side, let's say it is 6 inches thick. Extrapolating, this gives us an eye width from midpoint to midpoint of 4.75 inches.
They measured the eyes using a tree nearby. Each eye was nearly twice the width of a human's. It had been huge, silent, waiting.
My own eyes, and those of most human beings, are a bit better than 2 inches wide. Therefore, we can represent my size here in red. As to arm length, I do not think that much can be determined, because the Sasquatch is so hunkered down, arms bent behind the scenes, and appears to me to be, in effect, embracing the woodpile.
Whatever it was smart. It never showed its full body. It stayed hidden, low to the ground. But it had eyes. Eyes that glowed. Eyes that never looked away. With that being said, let's move on to our 8th footage. It was 25th December, 2014, Christmas Day in northern Minnesota. Snow covered the ground. Lights were on the house. The family was outside, enjoying the cold air, filming with a camera. You can hear them say, "Merry Christmas." Everything felt happy, normal. But then, it changed.
Say Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
The tree.
What was that?
Oh my God. Did you
Something's
see that?
behind them. Something's behind the garage.
Did you see that?
No, what was it?
It was really big. Oh my God, do you see it?
Yeah.
Suddenly, someone saw movement, a shadow behind the trees. One of them said it looked really big. They were right. The camera caught something dark moving through the woods. Big, fast. It was walking, not running, and it looked like it wasn't scared of anything.
Oh my God. No way.
That can't be.
What the hell? Oh my God, are you getting this?
I think so.
Oh my God.
Where's it at?
Go get in the woods.
Oh.
Oh, there goes
Oh, no.
after him. We're real scared of him. Raph! You stay here, Raph. You stay here.
The dog, Rip, ran out barking, but he came running back, tail down. Even the dog didn't want to face what was out there. They looked deeper into the trees. They could hear it, the sound of slow, heavy steps in the snow. The noise got louder. It wasn't walking away. It was getting closer.
I don't know. I hear something though. I still hear it.
A dark figure moved through the trees at the edge of the yard. It was taller than any man, and it didn't run. It just walked like it had done this before, like it knew they were watching, and it didn't care.
You guys hear it? Yeah, it is. Riff! Come on, Riff! I did too.
Rip, stay here.
The camera shook. One of them said what they were all thinking. We better get back inside. And they did. They locked the doors, turned off the lights, and waited.
It's gonna come out in the clearing.
Oh, there it is, right over there.
Oh my god.
Hell,
Oh my god. We better get back inside, guys.
Christmas was never the same after that. Let's move on to our next horrifying hunting encounter ever caught on camera. On September 27th, 2023, near Banff Park boundary, the hunter sat still in his blind, hidden spot among the trees. The forest was calm, nothing but the soft rustling of leaves. Then, a sharp crack shattered the silence. A branch snapped with force, too much force. He had broken branches before, but not like that. Not with that kind of power. His breath caught in his throat. Then movement. Just beyond the trees, something stepped forward. Massive, broad shoulders, dark fur. The face is clear and detailed. Not a bear, not a man. So what was it? Another snap, louder this time. A warning. This time a piece of wood came directly towards him. The hunter stayed frozen. His instincts screamed at him to run, but he knew better. When the forest warns you, you listen. Was this Bigfoot trying to give a warning? The footage ended, but the hunter never stayed to see what happened next. Moving on to our last terrifying Bigfoot encounter.
Man, if something's throwing something. Something was down there, bro. Something threw something. Get this man behind us, go. Don't stop.
On August 27, 2024, on the Appalachian Mountains Trail, they were there to camp in the mountains, surrounded by thick trees. It was past midnight, and they had traveled far from their RV. One of them suggested trying Bigfoot calls and tree knocks. What could go wrong? He didn't know those small actions would lead to something they'd never forget. Something that is going to be their worst nightmare.
Game trail, and then you go chasing it after.
Oh!
Oh shit! What the freak was that, bro? Did you hear that?
Whew. What was that?
Oh, I don't know, but something in that tree. I don't know what
That
it was.
scared the crap
I
out
guess
of
it
me.
could have been a bird or something.
Could it be an angry coon?
It could have been an owl. Oh, oh shit! What the freak is that, bro?
I don't know.
It doesn't sound like a bird. I don't know what that is.
It sounds angry, whatever it
It
is.
did sound angry. Yeah, that keeps going back, bro. Look how far. That goes back pretty far.
Goes this way too, I think. Wow. Bigfoot, my... Oh, look it down in there. Oh my goodness.
While they stood near a dark trail, a loud growl broke the stillness. It wasn't just a noise, it vibrated through the ground. He froze in fear. Doug tried to laugh it off, saying it might be an owl, but the sound wasn't natural. Something was watching them.
Is my flash... What is that up there? Man, my flashlight ain't doing good.
Oh, I can't tell.
It looks weird, whatever,
Raise
like
it up
out
a
of
little
place. Sort of like in the middle where my light's
Yeah, I
at.
see it. I don't know what that is.
It's not coming up good on camera. See, it's like little clacks.
It was very faint.
There's a faint clack. Like it reminded me of like a rock. You know, isn't it like usually one of the last...
Bro.
I know you... Holy smokes, man. Hold on. What the heck? It was like a...
I saw something go flying through there, dude.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you got it on camera?
I don't know if I...
Man, I hope that sound... I hope they could hear that. That sucker
Dude,
was
that's
loud.
deep in the woods, bro. Hold on. Thought I could still see the leaves shaking.
What?
Something was down there, bro. Something threw something. Did you see that flying?
That's
through
what
the
I said
leaves?
earlier, before that. That's what I thought
I thought
happened.
that sounded like a footstep, but it must...
No,
it
that's
must
what
have-
I said. It sounded like a big thud. That sounded like...
It had to have been the same thing. It must have been.
Oh my goodness, man.
I kind of want to go down there to see what's going on.
Oh my
But,
goodness.
like, that's a lot of shit. We got to crawl over it.
Oh man.
I think we should do it.
Alright, hold on.
So we're down the creek bed, guys, and we're making our way down, and after we get those knocks, something flew through the bushes. I don't know what it was. I could see it flying through the air, though. Did you see it too?
A thud echoed. Something big had been thrown nearby. He saw it fly through the air and crash into the bushes ahead. But the batteries flickered when they aimed their lights, almost like they weren't alone. Suddenly, a rock flew toward them, landing dangerously close. They didn't wait. Running blindly through the woods, they heard heavy footsteps behind them. Whatever was chasing them wasn't stopping.
I can't believe we're about to go towards that noise. That's crazy.
We just heard something down there on the creek bed.
That was pretty loud too.
I swear I saw something go flying, and then it hit the bushes.
Man, I didn't see anything, but I heard it. I like that. I think oh, man, I just heard something fall through there. Hey. Shh. Go. Was that a rock? What was that? Ow, my face. Damn it. Go, man, don't stop. Man, something's throwing something. Go.
When they reached the creek bed, another object crashed behind them. He tripped but kept running. Their breath came in gasps as they finally saw the RV's faint lights. Slamming the door shut, they sat in silence, trying to process what had happened.
I like a twig.
There's right behind us. Go. Don't stop. Go walking good. Good. Turn the cameras up. Get the cameras away. Put them up.
Back at the fire, they both admitted something was out there, something neither could explain. Whatever had thrown rocks and followed them through the dark wasn't just an animal. Whether it's real or not, something is out there, lurking in the woods, just out of sight. And sometimes, the camera catches it. For more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like this video. Comment below which case you find the most horrifying. Don't forget to press the bell icon for future notifications.